I guess I just wanted to drop you some knowledge first. I think is the best thing that we should go over. Here's what I wanted to go over with you, make sure that you're aware. Anything that you say to Jose is supposed to be attorney-client privilege and supposed to be in confidence.
Yeah.
How that works is, even if you ask him to reach out to the family, if you ask him to reach out to law enforcement, if you give him a letter and ask him to do it, he is not obligated to do that. Mm-hmm. He will make a decision if it's in his or your best interest.
Yeah.
The key is...
This is not good. I mean, first of all, everything he's going to do is in his client's interest, first of all. Second of all, there's things he's saying that are this is just not correct. And there's going to be quite a bit of that going on where it's like almost like viewing her attorney as a threat or something. It's weird.
His best interest too. Mm-hmm. At this moment, I really don't have anything against him, but I want to make sure that you realize that if you try to reach out, he may not be giving us this information. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
They're like trying to convince her not to trust him, her attorney. Listen to us and not him.
Told us that his number one focus is you. Mm-hmm. That his secondary focus is Caylee. Mm-hmm. The truth is, because it's a business.
Yeah.
The truth is, the most important thing for him, his first focus is himself. Mm-hmm. Then you. Then.
Wow. Why would you say that to her unless it's to try to get her to not trust that attorney? And why would you want her to not trust her attorney? Those are my questions.
That's what I want to go over. I'm sorry, I wrote a lot of this down because there's some stuff that I wanted to make sure that you are aware of before we really started getting into anything.
Making sure you're aware of. So that's where it's different for. So it's not things he wants to talk about with her. It's things he wants to make sure he wants to inform her. It's weird to me because it's like that's a way of controlling things, right? Like we've already heard it. He comes right in with all this information. Much of it is incorrect information.
I've seen the phone records. He has never returned a phone call to the police department. Now, he has written a letter, faxed a letter over to them. Mm-hmm. That's saying that you're willing to cooperate and things like that. When they have reached out to him since then, he has either not returned the phone call or he has, and I mean, I've got the correspondence. I saw this yesterday, and I'm not trying to knock, what he's doing or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I just want to make you aware of exactly what I've been able to, confirm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds so manipulative.
I'm not even going to get into the bond stuff right now.
This just feels so manipulative to me, because especially when he's like, yeah, I'm not trying to knock him. It's like, but you are, though. The reason it's weird is because the normal thing to do would be to encourage them to trust their attorney, right? Their attorney is the person who is going to be fighting for their life. It's weird if you're telling someone not to trust their attorney. That's a red flag to me.
Hold on, I just want to read through and make sure that I'm hitting all this first. Now, understand, any of us are going to say that we do feel it would be in your best interest to be able to get out to help us find Caylee.
Of course.
However, I know that especially now that you know that you can write a letter to me or to whomever.
No.
That it's just like if you were out and you were able to talk to us when no one else was around.
Yeah. Excuse me.
There are ways, even if you're still in fear.
Now it's clear that he's lying to her on purpose because he's repeating it so many times. And this isn't true. I don't know why he's telling her she can write a letter and it's confidential. It's not.
Make sure that you are aware of that. I've been doing my own research. I've been talking to some of your old coworkers at Kodak and Color Vision. I have the timeline. I know that there's a Jeff Hopkins. I know that there's a Juliette. I've been able to go through and confirm all of these things, and I've given this information.
So he's lying because there is no Juliette. There is a Jeff Hopkins. However, he didn't work there at the same time as she does or did, but there is no Juliette. So he's lying to her. And it's like the same thing her mom did. It's like to the extent they know she's lying, like here, in this example, he does know she's lying. Just like when he said he knew she was lying when she said she was in Jacksonville. He knows she's lying. He knows there's no Juliette Lewis, but he's he's actually lying and saying he's confirming it. We know that he knows it's not real.
Providing the information through a letter or through a video to me or mom or dad or whomever.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, if you do it through Jose, he may or may not want to do it. But understand, if you write something to me in a letter, Casey, I'm not sharing it with anybody. I'm the only person who's going to read it. And if there's anything that you do not want me to relay,
I'll be very specific. I know.
And I know that you do, but I need you to trust me on that. Okay?
I definitely do.
Okay. I want to just kind of run through everything with you and whatever you feel comfortable, going through, but a search or tips or reaching out to people.
Check things locally, Lee, in all honesty. Places that are familiar to us, to our family. Ask Mom specific places that I've mentioned when her and I...
Now that's a weird answer, right? Because if somebody took Caylee, what she's saying here does not support the story that Zanny took her, right? Or that anyone took her. Why? Because why would someone kidnap a child and then bring the child to places that are familiar to the family? It just doesn't make any sense. This here actually supports more of what the defense theory was, which is that she wanted Caylee to be found. He said that in opening statements, right? Because Caylee was found close to home. It was a quarter of a mile, I believe, from their house. I think we heard at some point earlier, many episodes ago, about how that wooded area is a place where Casey used to hang out as a teenager or something. So what she's saying is almost like tipping them off to where they could actually find her. But that doesn't align with the story of her being taken by anybody, right? So it's interesting.
She should remember specific places.
Would you feel comfortable with me? I've them written down.
And that's a really specific answer. She's like, there's specific places recently. It's almost like she knows. It's interesting.
Have you ever gotten a letter that we've written to you?
No, I've gotten 2 letters. One was from the Dr. Phil show. The other was from another attorney that was posted the 17th.
You've never gotten a letter from Mom?
I haven't gotten a letter from anyone except those 2.
You've gotten a letter from Annie?
No, I haven't gotten a letter from anyone, Lee.
We have written you since the 16th, Casey.
And I've been getting things that were dated 3 days ago.
We've been giving these to Jose. Okay?
No.
So I need you to understand.
So he adds that in. No. This is so manipulative. There is no way he would not be delivering her the letters. Well, first of all, why? Okay. He doesn't initially say he's been giving them to Jose. Why would you do that in the first place? Why would you do it? And if you did do it, why wouldn't you say that initially? But he's like, we've been writing you, and then when he finds out she's not getting them, he's like, we've been giving them to Jose. This is just another way to try to pit her against her attorney, which is really messed up. So,
yeah,
that he is reading these, and for whether he's reading them or not, because
for what it's worth, I'm not getting anything.
He's not getting anything to you. So you have to realize that, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to.
Oh, I know.
I'm just trying to make sure that you are informed of exactly what's going on, because none of us, I have no reason to say anything incorrect, okay? There's a few other things that I wanted to go through with you, and I'm sorry this.
No, go ahead.
Questions, but
it needs to be done, Lee.
Understand my rhyme or reason behind
Absolutely.
Because we only have an hour.
Yeah. Hi.
Sweetie, we've been watching you for so long.
You haven't?
I love you.
I love you too. Hi.
We've been seeing you sitting down.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking with one of the doctors.
We forgive anything that you've said or done.
Hold on. I haven't said anything. Don't worry.
Everybody is looking for her. Are we going to be able to find her, do you think?
I hope we can, Mom. Things that Lee told me today, I'm extremely aggravated about because I haven't gotten a single letter. Nothing that you've given him has gotten back to me.
I've only given him my letter. I don't think I've given him Annie's letter yet.
Well, I got 2 letters that were sent directly to the jail, but
Okay,
nothing
now-
that's been given to him has been
Well,
given to me.
Well, he can't hand anything to you. Did you read
He can
anything
at
in my
least-
writing?
I read the one little note, yes, but Lee said that he's written letters and
Okay.
he's written other stuff.
Okay, well, then the one little note that I wrote,
He
then
did
you
show
did
me.
get it. Okay, that's
Okay.
the only note that I've given.
Hey, gorgeous, how you doing?
I look like hell.
Well, you know something? You really need to keep your spirit high for all this.
I haven't been crying while I've been in here.
You know, I want to be able to reach out and hug you and give you the big Papa Joe hug. But you know, we got to get that little girl back any way we can, and we're
Dad,
doing
that's
everything we can.
my only concern.
Listen, I'm in front of the cameras all the time. What message do you want me to give to Zanny and to Caylee? What do you want me to tell Zanny?
That she needs to return Caylee. I
What do you
forgive
think
her.
her reasons are?
Mom, I don't know.
Okay.
I forgive her. My only concern is that Caylee comes back to us and she's smiling and she's happy and that she's okay.
Okay. What do you want me to tell Caylee?
That Mommy loves her very much. And she's the most important thing in this entire world to me. And to be brave.
Hold on. Anything else?
Just that I love her. I truly, truly love that little girl and miss her so much. I'm protecting our family, yes. Not from anything that I've done.
Someone threatening us? Someone threatening us?
Mom, just leave it at that, please.
Okay.
For right now, just leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm protecting our family, yes. Not from anything that I've done.
Someone threatening us? Someone threatening us?
Mom, just leave it at that, please.
Okay.
For right now, just leave it at that.
Okay. We have to protect Caylee, so don't protect us.
That's
we
all
have
I'm
to
worried
protect
about.
Caylee.
I know.
Well, then there's nothing to protect us for. Do you understand that?
I understand that, Mom.
We have to protect Caylee, so don't protect us.
That's
we
all
have
I'm
to
worried
protect
about.
Caylee.
I know.
Well, then there's nothing to protect us for. Do you understand that?
I understand that, Mom.
Casey, what can I do?
Keep things positive. Keep it focused on Caylee. That needs to be the main focus.
Is there anything else that you want to say directly to me at all?
Just that I wish that none of this would have ever happened. I really wish that none of this would have ever happened.
Well, we all feel that way, and I know we're all just given a lot right now, and we have to keep on being strong and knowing that we got to bring you and we got to bring Caylee home, and it's not going to be easy to get through, but at least we'll have you out also, and that's the
As long
focus
as we
here.
have Caylee home, everything else with me we'll deal with as we can.
Notice that he calls Caylee that little girl.
Getting Caylee home is our priority. Everything else will fall into place after that. And that's the truth.
Okay. Have you ever thought about even just reaching out to the guys at the sheriff's department, just talking to them?
What the fuck,
The
man?
few times that I have, Dad, you've seen what's blown.
Trying to convince her to go around her attorney and incriminate herself. Why? Why would you do that to a family member? So far, her mom's not done that. Her mom's being manipulative in other ways, but in terms of it, so far it's her dad and Lee who are actually giving her not good advice from a legal perspective.
Anything else you need that you want us to do or say or look, anything? What do you need from us?
I told Lee, look locally, especially.
You sure?
Check places that we're familiar with, that
We'll see.
that
Okay.
we know.
All right, honey, I believe that.
I just want her back.
I know you do.
God.
You have to keep thinking positive feelings, Casey.
Oh, I know. I have been. I've been staying as positive as I can.
And your gut tells you that she's close or she's hiding.
She's not far. I know in my heart she's not far. I can feel it.
Okay. Jose said that you said everything would make sense once we found Caylee.
Well, yeah, once you have someone that you can talk to, that you can get a real explanation from, that's known where she's been, it's going to have to make sense at that point. Once we get Caylee, everything else will figure itself out. Mainly I was meaning for myself, but even as far as where she's been, what's been going on with her. Mainly I was meaning for myself, but even as far as where she's been, what's been going on with her.
I'm trying to seem so strong for you.
And you've done such a great job, Mom. I want you to know that you have. Everybody has said that. Everybody tells me every day.
I'm trying so hard, but it's getting harder every day.
You have to stay as strong as you can, Mom. We're gonna get our little girl back. And she's gonna be just as she was.
Yeah, I
Never
agree.
let anybody outside of family.
No.
I agree.
Trust me, I've said the same thing. I'm gonna be the crazy, overprotective mom at that point, but I don't care. I think it's well warranted, well deserved.
You've always been protective, Mommy.
Since Iowa says, I feel like her dad did it and told the ladies this is what you're going to do. That totally resonates with the family dynamic, for sure. 100. I want to just say, too, while I have it paused, I just want to say big, huge shout out to every one of you guys who's here watching this, who has come in with an open mind, because I know it's hard with this case, and this case has such a reputation that it precedes itself, you know? And I love that there are people out there who are willing to come in and have an open mind. I think it's such an important thing in life. It just goes to show you can't always just go with whatever the general consensus is, you know? Even when it seems like it might be correct, it might not be until you've actually taken a look, right? But I just appreciate that you guys are here and having an open mind and coming in objectively, you know, and watching this like from that lens, like the way the jury would. I just appreciate it. So thank you for that.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, beautiful. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's a bit creepy, no?
I'm doing better now. I got a chance to see you.
I mean, I don't know.
So,
Oh,
how
God,
did everything go?
I love you. I miss you. Everyone just wants everything to work out here as quick as possible.
Interesting.
I know, so do I.
This little girl, your daughter, my granddaughter, has captivated the world. Not just locally, but internationally. I got a call from a gentleman as I was coming here today that called me from Washington that wants to help.
Uh-huh.
He made his own T-shirt up, and he's handing out his own pre-printed flyers that he got off the internet. You know, we get Caylee home, and every other stuff is going to be a little bit easier for you.
Dad, I don't care about all this other stuff. I mean, I don't care about the media. I don't care about what people have been saying about me. That doesn't matter. All I want is Caylee home.
Just know that I know she's close. I can feel her every night.
Again, interesting. I know she's close. Most people, by most people, I mean like the detectives and actually even Cindy, have been kind of like, you know, where could she be? You know, there was talk about potentially could she have been on a private jet to Puerto Rico or whatever. That came up on Cindy's cross exam, all this other stuff. But two people have now referenced things close to home in reference to Caylee, and that's Casey, which we pointed out, but now George saying it also. No one would say that about a child that's been kidnapped. You would never assume they're close by. You would take them away where people aren't going to recognize them, right?
This is destroying your mother.
Great, let's just go to her more.
She hurts so much. I have one question that I need to ask you, and I know it's going to be a tough one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you speak to someone else about Caylee?
I already answered that. I mean, I'll try to the best of my ability.
Well, we have met someone. All I can tell you, his name is Scott. We've met with him for a couple different days, and he's just a remarkable man. And
What the fuck?
his connection on this, yeah, he's of an authoritative figure. He's with an agency, but
Just a remarkable man.
he's very sympathetic, and I really believe that you could have a great connection with him. Because years ago when I did the thing that I did, I don't want to go into this too deep, but everything was already handled within a judge's chambers or within a conference area before you went into court. It's just the way it is.
I want to know what that was. What did he do? What did you do, George?
Well, I want you to know everything that's happened up to this point from day one when all this stuff unfolded up till now, it was never out to cause you any pain, to cause our granddaughter pain, to cause our family any pain. Realize we want everyone back in our lives the way it's supposed to be, the way it should be.
That article in People magazine that was supposed to be about missing children, I saw that last night. It was all about me. It's not. Nothing's
well, that's
being portrayed
true.
the way that it should be, when she should be everyone's focus.
Well, I'll tell you, when they came to the house, the 3.5, 4 hours they were there, that was the story. That's what it was supposed to have been. We understood, Caylee's photo was going to be on the front cover, but then
Yeah, well, so was mine right next to it.
And then again, we had no control over it. The article was supposed to be about Caylee. It was not
And it
supposed to be about me or about Mom. Maybe a little information from Mom and I, or maybe something, in a general direction about how long she's been missing type stuff. But the way it's been spun, and
people have been lying to you guys to try to get information from you to spin it in their best interest, not for our best interest, not for our family, not for Caylee. Caylee should be everyone's concern, and that's not the case. And it breaks my heart. That's why I can't watch any of this. That's why I don't want to hear about it.
well, listen, you are a great mom. You're always going to be a great mom. I know that. Mom knows that. Lee knows that. Your good, closest, best friends know that. Our lives are going to change in so many different ways. I mean, our faith, our compassion, stuff we used to talk about doing, we're going to do it. We're going to do it together, all of us. I'm not going to force it on you, but we're going to do it, I want you to know your brother has it's just a marketing genius of stuff that he's doing. I always knew he was very, very in tune with a lot of things, but stuff that he has done for you, for Caylee, is just remarkable. It just goes without saying. Matter of fact, organizations we're working with right now want to hire him.
This is so
Want to bring him on board because of his passion.
The bragging and the bragging and the bragging is insane.
And if that's what it's going to take for him, we want to get Mallory involved with a couple of the people, and and even you. So realize there's a lot of doors that have opened up, even though this is a tragedy and it's very sensitive in our lives. There's positive things that are happening from it. So
He's like, look, we're all going to benefit. Look, we're all getting new jobs. Your brother's a marketing genius. They're going to hire you on the spot. Like, what is happening? What is happening? What's happening? Help me.
is there anything that I can try to get you? Is there, do you have like a commissary type thing that you need money for to buy things? Or
Don't even worry about it. I mean,
Look at that. It's saying this has got to be the first time ever in the history of the planet where someone who's in custody in jail has said no to someone putting money on their commissary. Very interesting. She's like, I don't want to take money from you. I mean, that's how I take it, because literally, like, wanting to bribe her. This is wild to me.
it's not a big deal. I have a Bible.
I have the Bible.
well, when you get a chance, just read certain passages of it. I'm not gonna go into particular areas, but I was asked outside by one of the reporters, for her birthday, what do you want to get her? I said, I want to get her this little red Mustang convertible and see her drive around. I said, but that's a material thing. I said, I would give her anything that she wanted. I want to have a big cake, ice cream, all this stuff little kids, even us as adults, we still have we're still little kids inside.
Oh boy.
You know, I want us to have so much. But just know that
The thing is being together as a family. That's all we
that's
need.
it. All this other stuff is just material.
What is happening? He's like, I want to get her a Mustang convertible and cake, but that's material. So let me swap that out with cake and ice cream. Well, that's still a material thing. He can't even like not think of, it's very interesting. But then her response, all we need is to be together. Incredible.
The clothes we have, that's just material stuff. Our other things we have is just material. And, you know, that the photos of her are beautiful, but when you see her in front of you, the eyes,
She's
the expression.
captivating.
Yeah,
She's absolutely captivating.
She has a personality that's so remarkable. And I said, I owe that, you know, to my daughter. I owe that to my wife, myself, my son, other family members that have made her so excitable because she's just a fantastic little girl.
She has the best in all of us, and that's something that I've been thinking about.
This is so weird because it's like how it doesn't make any sense that she would have. This came up another time, and I heard it, and I was like, "That's weird." Where they said they talk about Caylee, and like everyone's a part of Caylee or something, and they mention Lee, and that's what's so weird because yes, Caylee's going to have his DNA, the mom's DNA, and Casey's DNA, but Lee's DNA, and I wonder. You know what's interesting? It just clicked. I wonder if this is where the idea came about that he could be the dad. I wonder if that's where that came from.
Going into Caylee's room today, you know, I wish I could have brought something with me to show you of hers, you know.
Look at this.
Wish I could have, but I wasn't allowed.
She's like smiling and she's crying her eyes out this entire time. Why would you say this? This is so manipulative. Like, you know, this is just going to make it. I just don't understand. This is like sadistic and to me. Like, this is like sadistic. Like, he's smiling. Like, he said something about going into her room. She starts crying harder. He smiled, dude.
Wish I could have, but I wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
I miss your hug. I miss that squeeze, that Papa Joe. I miss so much. When I leave here, I got the media outside. I just want you to know, I'm just gonna tell them I had a fantastic visit with you. You know, I gave you all my extra support and love and energy that I have inside of me.
Oh, so sweet.
And I want them to concentrate again on Caylee being gone. That's what this is about. They already stopped me on my way in, and I told them, be compassionate for the people who are here seeing loved ones. Don't follow me inside. Don't come into the area we got to set in before we have to come in and like see you or they need to see her else. I said, give us a moment. I need some few moments to think of things that I try to want to talk to her about.
Interesting, isn't it?
And they're asking me, what questions? I don't know. I didn't know what I was going to say to you today. Besides, I love you and I need you. I want you home.
Wow.
You know, just how much all of us miss. I didn't know what I was going to say. Nothing's scripted.
I love that little girl again more than I ever thought possible.
It's true.
To love,
I know
to
that.
love anyone.
It's true. I'm just hoping wherever she's at, that she's being fed well. She's getting some love.
She's getting some love?
She's getting a chance to watch her videos or stuff that she likes to do because you know how formidable she is right now. She's absorbing everything.
I do.
And I just hope this person or persons that has her is, I wish they would just realize, oh my God, I got to get her back to her family. I wish that could happen.
All right. What person on any planet, anywhere in any galaxy would think that if a child, any child, is kidnapped, who on this planet or any other planet would think to themselves, yeah, I just hope she's getting fed well and she's well taken care of and she's getting to do her thing. It's like he's describing her being in heaven. And how many people would use that if you've got a kid and you imagine what's that kid's version of heaven? How many people would think that's what the kid is having if they're being kidnapped? And that's what their life is like, unless you actually think they're in heaven. This to me, guys, is consciousness of guilt right here. There is no explanation for this. There's literally no explanation for this. This is like an admission, honest. It's not even consciousness of guilt. This is like an admission.
Wherever she's at, that she's being fed well. She's getting some love. she's getting a chance to watch her videos or stuff that she likes to do, because you know how formidable she is right now. She's absorbing
At this
everything.
point, they should have stopped what they were doing and let her go and put him in fucking handcuffs, in my opinion. This is insane. I think that this could really be an example of what extreme gaslighting looks like, to where you're, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not even a pathological liar. This is just now dawning on me, just having seen all these videos, that maybe it's the gaslighting, right? That she's been so gaslit the fuck out of that she really thought these people existed. It's possible. It's entirely fucking possible. And that would also explain, I pointed it out many, many times before, but I didn't have a reason for it. But now it would make sense when all the times I pointed out how people came in and they encouraged her quote unquote lies, or they supported it, like coming in and saying, like Lee coming in and saying, yeah, I found evidence that Juliette Lewis exists and works about lies. It's all lies.
Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful. I love you.
Hi.
Hey, can you read what they say?
Fly home, baby, and I don't see the bottom.
Interesting. Fly home? Like she's an angel?
How are you feeling? We're not doing well, Kate.
Oh, fuck's sake.
None of us. Lee's been sick. Dad's blown up at the media. Well, someone just said that Caylee was dead this morning, that she drowned in the pool. That's the newest story out there. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, let's just say Cindy leaves the ladder up on accident or whatever, right? And the gate gets left open. I can't recall if they said she could reach the gate or not, but whatever. The gate, ladder gate, right? Let's just say that happens. Cindy goes to work, and let's just say Caylee gets out because we know she could, right? And she gets over there and she gets into the pool. And then let's say George finds her. It would make sense, all that we're seeing here with this dysfunction, that everyone's got these big secrets, right? It's like George blames him. Right, okay. So Cindy might be carrying guilt around because she might think to herself, it was my fault, right? And then meanwhile, George potentially could have found her drowned. And especially now that we know he has some sort of criminal background, didn't want to be found liable, right? And George might not know Cindy's secret, and Cindy might not know George's secret, but both of them are motivated to throw Casey under the bus to deflect the responsibility and put the tension away from themselves. It's like if you picture the game Clue, or like a movie like that, where it's like everybody's in the same room and one of you guys is and one person's the murderer, but no one knows who did it or whatever kind of thing. But everyone's a suspect and everyone's got their own different secrets going on. But everyone knows that everybody's got something to hide. And then you've got alliances forming within that group. That's what this is like to me, if that makes any type of sense. I actually need to watch it again one more time just to see what George does.
Oh, it lasted a minute.
Let's look at how he's acting now, okay? Baseline.
How are you feeling? We're not doing well, Kate. None of us. Lee's been sick. Dad's blown up at the media. Yeah, I heard. Well, someone just said that Caylee was dead this morning, that she drowned in the pool.
Look at his face. Dude, his face. No, he's making a face there. So here's what I think is going on here, right? Remember, the reason this is a story in the media is because it originated with her, because of LADDERGATE, right? She called the detective, she told all the people. But remember, like I was just explaining, all these layers of subterfuge and all the secrets. George's face says to me, does she know? That's what that face says to me. Does she know? Meanwhile, all she knows is she saw the ladder and the gate, LADDERGATE. His face is really interesting there. Dude, he looks like he's seen a fucking ghost. If Caylee drowned in the pool, and George and Casey know it, and they're they had, like, again, hiding the accident or whatever, and Cindy doesn't know. And I think this is what's going on here. And Cindy doesn't know. All she knows is she saw LADDERGATE and she's like, oh no, did I do something wrong here, right? Dude, imagine this moment though, right? And she says this, as in, like, how crazy is that? And then them two sitting there. Oh my God.
Dad's blown up at the media. Yeah, I heard. Well, someone just said that Caylee was dead this morning, that she drowned in the pool.
That's the newest story out there.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow. And do you see, look at her gaze, look at Casey's gaze. Casey is looking, her gaze shifts. She's looking at her dad, and look at him, he's looking away. And Cindy has no idea. She's just in her own world. It looks like her eyes are closed this whole time.
Someone just said that Caylee was dead this morning, that she drowned in the pool. That's the newest story out there.
Surprise, surprise.
Wow. And lip compression, and she looks at her dad, and he's looking down like that. This right here says it all to me. Wow.
It's very hard.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Trust me, I know that. Someone just sent me.
Dude, his face right now. Because just keeping in mind, guys, the only thing that has been presented that shows that she did anything or whatever, like, it doesn't even show that she did anything. All it is based on she lied. That's it. But the lies, again, aren't even, they were going on for so long, and they had nothing to do with Caylee. And, you know, as I've pointed out a bazillion times. So, but that's like it, right? There is actually there's no evidence. There's no evidence. It's just the lying. Such a shame, right? Such a shame. I think she wants the truth to come out. Here's where I'm at now with watching all this. I think she wants the truth to come out. And another thing is that I pointed out earlier, the whole point about how she says, when she's telling people to look nearby, look at places where we go as a family. I think she wants the truth to come out. And I think George is like, nah, bitch. Like, I mean, that's what this looks like to me.
Hey, sweetheart.
Hey.
Hey, listen, I want you to know, you are the boss through this whole thing, okay?
Well, no, I'm not anymore, Dad. I haven't been.
Interesting timing, right? Also the gaslighting, though. You're the boss through this whole thing. What? She's in jail. She's in jail. And even before she was in jail, you were always the boss.
Oh, yes, you are. You are the... Think of this for a second. For some reason,
I wonder if after that bit about the pool, he's now like, this could be bad for me, right? I wonder if he's getting a little bit nervous, and he's now like, I need to talk her into confessing. And in this case, honestly, it would be confessing to something she didn't do. It would be confessing to a murder that she didn't do. I need her to confess to keep his secret. I wonder if that's what's going on here.
if something's not being said or being done, you can make a change. You're the one that can
Dad,
say, listen.
I've told Jose. No, I've given him the
reason I'm saying that is because the way he said he referenced her attorney, to me, this almost sounds like I'm going to confess and strike a plea deal. That's where I was going with that. Like, he's going to try to convince her. He's like hinting at take a plea deal, which would mean confessing to a crime that she didn't commit. And at this point, Caylee's not been found. And the only way he would even know that that she's deceased is if he was involved.
You'll be fine once Caylee's found.
Mom, I understand that. Do you understand my position on this? You guys expect me to have 1,000 answers, and I have nothing. I've been here a month. You guys are not understanding my side on this, and I'm sorry.
No, I understand.
No, you don't, because you're still asking me if there's anything that I can tell you that's going to help.
I think she knows Caylee's dead. I think she knows where Caylee is. Again, going back to like the places close to home, places nearby, or she just knows that Caylee is close to home, right? But I don't think she knows what happened to Caylee, potentially. Maybe she knows something involving the pool. It could even be that in her mind, she's not sure if it was an accident or if her dad drowned her. But the pool might be involved and she wasn't there, right? But here's the thing, because I'm thinking back to this whole thing of her wanting the body to be found. If you imagine that if you didn't commit a crime, let's say you didn't commit a crime, right? But you're being thrown under the bus for a crime you didn't commit. And you don't know what happened to the person, but you know the body is out there. This whole thing about, and this is consistent with what she said to her attorney from day one. We already heard this, that she said, once Caylee's found, everything will be fine. Once Caylee's found, everything will be fine. Her mom just echoed that again there. Once Caylee's found, everything will be fine. Again, going back to this idea, if you're innocent of a crime, okay, it makes sense logically that you would want that body to be found, because you'd be like, no matter what they find, it's going to show I didn't do it, right? Because there's going to be evidence and it's not going to involve me because I wasn't there, right? It's like the idea, like whatever evidence is found, it's going to be good for me because I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I wasn't there, right? That would be logical and normal to think like as a rational person, like, yeah, I want her body to be found. And once they find it, they'll know I didn't have anything to do with it. And I wonder if she's almost hoping the truth will come out, right? And that would explain a lot, wouldn't it? It's like she's not allowed to say it, but she figures the truth will come out when the body is found. That's what it is. That's what it is. That makes total sense, doesn't it? At least to me. And it seems like she knows more than she's saying because she can't say the truth. But she made a very normal assumption that once the body's found, it's going to show I didn't do it because she didn't do it, right? She didn't do anything. And this is where you need a good attorney. This is why it matters, right? Because unluckily for her, the evidence, there wasn't any forensic evidence except for the freaking duct tape. And this also makes sense though, right? Like if you think about the investigators had zeroed in on her from the beginning, they could have tied that and should have connected that duct tape to George, but instead they connected it to her. And that's all they have though. It's like she's trying to hint at it the best she can without spelling it out. Caylee's right here. Once you find her, you'll know I didn't do anything. And that hope would explain how you would have the ability to fake it with them like this for so long, especially with the dad, to fake it, right? Because you're like, any day now, any day now, any day now, any day now. I'm giving them all the hints I can. And he's probably really worried that now something's going to come out if she's been able to keep the secret long enough. And now she's being put under more pressure from her mom. Oof.
It's really sad. It's really, really sad that I literally have nothing right now.
Well,
Nothing.
None of us have anything right now, Casey.
You guys have each other. You're sitting next to Dad. You still have Lee. I have no one to comfort me but myself. And the occasional visit, which has to be business, for the sake of finding Caylee. With keeping me here, you're not helping me help myself.
Well, at least
I'm sorry to say that. Huh?
You're safe, honey. We don't have the means to get you out anyway, sweetheart. We don't.
You know what's weird is how she said, we don't have the means to get you out anyway. It's as if there's some other reason that they're wanting her to stay in custody besides not having bail money.
By still expecting me a month, literally out of the loop, to have some sort of new insight on stuff? I mean, really?
Okay, I realize this is really hard for you to talk about, especially.
The only new insight, see, now it makes sense, because it is a dumb question. The only new insight would be him. He's hinting at her, in my opinion, falsely confessing and taking a plea deal. And that's part of why, too, it makes sense to come in and complain and complain and complain. And this is just so hard on us, right? It's like, put us out of our misery and just go ahead and confess, and then we can all move on and you can go to jail.
Your mom and I are having our issues every single day, so just realize it's
Dad, I know it's
really,
going to take
really
a toll
tough.
on everybody, but understand again where I'm coming from in this. You have to see everybody's side. I've looked at everybody's side about this. I've been praying every single day for insight and everybody's thoughts and everybody's feelings. So I know where you stand and where you're coming from. And I know where you're sitting right now, and Mom and Lee and Joe Schmo walking down the block that's seen this every day on the media for the last month. I can understand everybody else's side of
I
this.
know exactly what she's saying. She has looked at it from everyone's side, and no one has looked at it from her side. And you know what? I'm happy to say that we are doing that now. I hope that is what I feel like we can say. You know, I think that it started out, and it still is, right? How would the jury be interpreting this? And maybe that's the answer to the question, right? Maybe the answer to the question is the way that I've gone through this process and been trying to assess it. There's still these different questions, and then having these like moments where it's like, oh my God, like that, did he just say that? You know, and maybe the jury's at where I'm at, where they're like, you've looked at it from everybody else's side and no one has looked at it from your side, but we're going to look at it from your side, you know? And not that they have to do that to find her not guilty, but that's the response that I'm having right now is like, you know, I'm looking at it from her side now, especially just because of these calls. These calls have really changed things a lot because you see the difference. You see her and her demeanor and what she's saying and her behavior, and then you see her parents and her brother too. Because again, it's like if what is gleaned from this, which this is my opinion, if what is gleaned from this is like she really didn't have anything to do with it, she was thrown under the bus. She didn't commit the crimes she's charged with, right? Apart from lying to law enforcement. And then you look at it from her side. This is a huge tragedy in a whole other set of ways from what we already knew. And then it's an even bigger tragedy that the general consensus is she's guilty, right? Even though she was acquitted.
The worst part is that nobody can see my side, and I have to keep my mouth shut.
Well, all I know is I'm trying to do everything I can to get a chance to see you. You know, just you and I. I mean, I'm trying it, and so.
Interesting, that was his response, because that's actually not really on topic, but it is for him. I'm trying to do everything I can to get a chance to see you just one-on-one. Interesting. They need to have another chat, I guess, right? Now that Cindy mentioned the pool. Fucking hell.
Well, I was just told that Mom was making food. I'm just going off of what people were telling me, what they were relaying from the media. So I was just speculating myself.
Well, Mom did made her great chili. You know, we had some bread and cornbread, and just little things like that. It was just us. You know, there was no one else, and there was I'm sorry, Mom did remember there was a young guy who just called, who was alone and just wanted to have a little bit of a family. He came over and we just talked for about an hour. We never met the man before. You know, he was alone, so we went up in our heart.
What the fuck type of craziness is this, though? So a stranger, I don't know if there was some holiday. Anyway, some stranger calls them. I don't know how he gets their phone. Some stranger calls them and comes over for dinner.
I know each day is getting harder on everybody.
Casey, how hard it is.
Oh, I don't know. Being the one that's completely secluded, and I don't know anything that's going on.
That's actually a good thing because
She's like, you're the lucky one. I can't.
it's just obscene, everything that's going on out
It's
there.
obscene.
Well,
This
why don't you commit a crime and get put into jail, and then you can be the lucky one too?
life's not fair. People aren't always going to be nice, and they're not going to look at things from other people's perspectives. And it's sad. It's unfortunate. They're going to judge people. They're going to pass judgments about.
This is so true, and that's exactly why I wanted to cover this trial. That's exactly why I wanted to cover this trial.
Something that they don't know.
So that at least if the judgments are correct, we can say, yep, the jury got it wrong, judgments were right, blah, blah. But if not, we can at least be informed and have the information to make our own decisions about what happened here and how that might differ from the media.
Stuff that's being said has been completely fabricated and twisted and everything else, and it's ridiculous. But you know what, Mom? Again, that's going to blow over. I'm not going to give the media anything when I get out of here. It sucks for them because I have nothing to say. All I want is my kid back. To be back.
The other thing I will note is she's not even being defensive.
That's all I want.
What do you want me to tell her that's going to make her bring her back?
Just tell her that we forgive her. That all we want is our Caylee. That's it.
I said that yesterday.
Well, Mom, that's all I can think of. That's all I can say because
And
that's all I would say.
And I wonder if that's her in a way saying she forgives her dad. I don't know, maybe. Well, that's hard to imagine though with this situation. She would have every right not to forgive him.
Is that I forgive whoever has her, and that I just want her to come home. I just want my baby back. That's it.
So that kind of confirms that, right? Because there she's whoever has her. It's not Zanny anymore. It's whoever.
I think it made me think that they would actually do that.
I don't know what I can think anymore, Mom. You just keep saying it because it's the truth. That's all we want. But besides that, besides me being here physically,
At least you're safe. And we know where you're at. We don't know where Caylee's at. We don't know if they're feeding her. They're hugging her.
Her mom is not validating a single thing she's saying.
Giving her
I know
love.
everything that they're saying. I know she's.
Listen, know that you can trust me, you can trust Mom, and you can trust Lee.
Who's the state's next witness?
Charity Beasley.
All right.